Hello students. Next we will look into the second module. The second module basically consists of two parts. The first part basically is on sensors and the second part is basically on actuators. What is the meaning of actuators? Actuators are the parts which will provide the required energy or power for the robot to move. And sensors is basically a very important section in robotics because the robot is able to understand the world around itself or its own condition with the help of sensors. First, we will look into the classification of sensors. The sensors can be broadly classified into two categories. Some sensors are called as internal state sensors and some are called as external state sensors. What are the internal and external state sensors? Internal state is basically talking about whatever is inside the robot, and external is talking about whatever is outside the robot. For the case of internal state, the robot may want to know what is the joint position of its joint. So there may be a robot which has 6 joints. So it wants to know what is the present condition of each joint. What is the present position of each joint? Okay. Or it may also want to know what is the velocity with which its end effector is moving. That means if suppose we are having a robot, the robot is having an end effector. What is the speed or the velocity with which this end effector is moving in any which direction? That also needs to be looked by the robot. So for finding out all of this, the sensors that are used are called as internal state sensors. That's why it is written here. Internal sensors are used to measure the internal state of a robot. Okay, and they mainly try to give what is the internal state of the joint or the joint position. So it measures basically the position, the velocity, the acceleration of the end effector, etc. Now, what are external state sensors? External state sensors are the sensors that are used by the robot to sense the environment around it. The robot wants to know what all is present in its environment, if there is any object present in its environment. So it uses certain sensors for measuring these environment or for looking into these or for understanding its environment. So these sensors may deal with finding out what is the range. For example, if there is a robot and that robot is basically, and this is the end effector of the robot and this is the base of the robot, some object is kept here. So it would want to know what is the range, what is the distance of the end effector from the object. So what is the range? It may want to find out what is the range. Proximity and range means basically what is the difference between proximity. Suppose if it wants to know what is around it, that is basically coming in proximity. Okay, then touch, whether it, suppose it wants to pick up a object, now it is having a gripper is a hand like end effector which basically grabs onto some object. So if it is trying to grab some object, it wants to know whether it has grabbed the object with sufficient pressure. So it requires to know what is the touch. So sensors like those which deal with range, proximity, touch and all come under the external state sensors. They are also used for robot guidance. That means if suppose we are talking about a line following robot, so a robot will always follow a line. There are robots which follow lines. So it will always try to look for guidance from this, or it may be a GPS guided robot. So its GPS sensors will try to sense what is its GPS position. So external state sensors will also have this GPS sensors coming under external state sensors. Similarly, if it wants to, it is having a group of objects in front of it, some of which are of green color, some of which are of red color. So for object identification also, it will require certain sensors, maybe a camera. Okay. Now all these sensors can be further divided into contact sensors and non-contact sensors. Contact sensors means if we want to sense or if we want to measure something using a sensor, the sensor has to make a contact, a physical contact. Okay, it has to make a physical contact. For example, in case of touch sensors, it has to make a physical contact. For measuring the torque, it has to make a physical contact. Okay, whereas non-contact sensors are those sensors which can sense the environment without touching, physically touching. For example, a camera need not touch the object to understand that there is an object there. Okay, or we are having this range detectors which deal with ultrasound detectors and ultrasound range detectors. So what do? There is a transmitter and there is a receiver. Okay, there is a transmitter and there is a receiver, and this sends ultrasound waves, just like in the case of bat. So if there is any object in the front, the waves will be reflected back to the receiver. So there is a transmitter and a receiver pair. So these are non-contact type sensors because they don't rely on touch, they don't rely on physical contact. Okay, so they do it with the help of acoustic or electromagnetic radiation. Acoustic radiation is this ultrasound. Okay, and electromagnetic radiation, it might be with the help of camera, or it might be with the help of laser range detector, laser range finder. So a laser is used to find out what is the range and all. So these all come under the non-contact sensors, and some of the very popular ones are for finding out the range, proximity, the visual properties of an object. All these are carried out with the help of sensors, which basically come under the non-contact type sensors. So let us look at the classification with the help of a diagram. So sensors are broadly classified into external and internal sensors. Let me zoom in a little bit more. Okay. So there are internal and external sensors. In the internal sensors, we will have basically the position sensor, the velocity sensor, the acceleration sensor, the force sensor. We have to study each of these kind of sensors. Whether it is position sensor, we have to study what are the different kinds of position sensors, what are the different kinds of velocity sensors, what are the different kinds of acceleration sensors, and similarly force sensors. Whereas external sensors, we will basically broadly classify them into contact type sensors and non-contact type sensors. The contact type sensors are basically like limit switch, slip, measurement of torque, touch sensors. These all come in the contact type sensors. Whereas non-contact type sensors are the ones that are used to find out, for example, range sensor with the help of ultrasound or ultrasonic. Similarly, we are having proximity sensor, ultrasonic sensor, laser sensors. So all of these are basically the non-contact type sensors. I can even put temperature under this. Now temperature, some may say that okay, for getting the temperature you need to use a thermometer which is physically touching the body. So some people may put it here, but no, we are having contact type temperature measuring thermometers and non-contact type also. So it will depend on what is the thing that you are going to use or what is the application. If it's a very hot body, then you want to basically use a non-contact type, or if it's a medium temperature, then you will basically try to go for contact type. So it will basically depend on the application whether you are going to use a contact type or non-contact type sensors. So these are the basic classification. For understanding what are the encoders, LVDT, resolvers, potentiometers, and similarly tachometers, strain gauges and all, we will have to one by one look inside each one of them. So our basic module, this second module, will basically talk about sensors of internal sensors and external sensors. So if you would look into your syllabus, you will find out that there is a section that deals with internal sensors, and other that deals with external sensors. Okay, so let us now start with the first sensor, that is the position sensor. We'll do that in the next video. Thank you.